Welcome back to Brave Meets Bold, episode 3! That's crazy!
We're on a roll.
We're on a roll, and this episode is pretty deep again.
Once again.
We're
We're back with a deep topic.
We're going to be talking about mental health, and I'm so happy you're back to listen to episode 3. I'm your co-host, Delara.
And I am your co-host, Savannah, and we're super happy to be back. Just want to put a disclaimer out there that we are not claiming to be psychiatrists or professionals. We're just speaking on personal experience and what we've gone through, etc., etc., etc. So just want to put that out there before we get deeper into this conversation.
Yes, and I hope, you can take something from this episode of things that Savannah and I have gone through and the solution of that and whatever knowledge that we're just, letting out with you guys. And before we start this episode, I know we say this in every episode, but thank you so much for being here. If you're subscribing, if you're watching us, if you're listening when you're driving, getting ready, we're just so grateful. The messages that you guys have sent us, just thank you so much.
Definitely, and super helpful and insightful to how we can just move forward the best way possible and give you guys exactly what y'all want, need, and everything in between.
Yes, so let's get into today's episode.
Let's do it. So we're a little bit more prepared than ever before because we actually have notes this time, different topics and just concepts and things that we want to speak on. So we're just kind of going to bounce around different things that she wants to speak about that pertain mental health and vice versa. So I'll let you start.
Okay, perfect. I did write a couple of notes that I thought that was very important for me, especially in my life and all the mental health that I've struggled with, because I'm 100% an advocate of mental health. And I think I accepted having, issues here and there a lot later in life, which I wish I, would have accepted earlier in life. So these are 4 main points that I really thought was important for today. And the first and foremost, which I think is one of the most important, is being embarrassed to admit to anyone you feel off balance.
I love that.
I think it starts from there. I've been there. I'm sure Savannah's been there.
Girl, that reminds me when I opened up to we've been to the same therapist.
Yes.
Girl, when I opened up to her, oh my God. But sorry, keep going.
So
just, that hit me.
But
that's so true.
It's hard to be like, I feel weird, or this isn't right, or this thought isn't right, or whatever the case may be. 100% that was my issue. I think if I had just accepted that something is wrong and I need to call my mom, I need to call my friends, or like somebody I really trust, and be like, can you please help me with this? Is this normal? Is this thought normal? I wish I would have accepted that a long time ago. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. Let me just say that, right?
Right.
We all go through so much in life, and it's nothing to be embarrassed if you feel like it has taken a toll on your mind, your mental health, which is something that you really need to make sure you're always working on, because if that's good, then everything else in your life is going to go better. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
It lines up together in its own way. So yeah, being embarrassed. How did you get into therapy?
Well, after my dad passed away, my mom thought that it would be a good idea for herself and my sister and I to speak to somebody. And I think that it really was, because that unlocked so much. And I felt like I didn't need therapy before that. But then once I experienced therapy because of that situation, so much more was kind of brought to the table through that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I, went
and
to
then
therapist.
that's how I got into therapy, because of you guys, because of her.
Well, yeah.
Our therapist, it's weird how the circle.
It's a full circle for sure. And my mom found her on Yelp. She had really great reviews, and you know her. We got to give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Christine.
Thank you.
Christine,
Thank you,
girl.
Chris.
Well, my mom, yes, but Christine, the therapist.
Oh, can we say her name though?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, we love you, Christine. But we love you, Chris. Well,
love you, Chris
it
as
stemmed
well.
from Chris because you said Yelp. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Thank you. So thank you to both of them.
Yes, my mother and our therapist, Christine.
Mhm.
I don't know if we can say that though, but
But you guys don't know our therapist
I mean, there's
name.
millions of Christines in the world.
Yeah,
so,
it's a
you know.
common name, so we're okay.
I'm just so thankful for her because I wouldn't say I was embarrassed to feel the way that I did, but I felt scared to feel the way that I did, and I felt alone. So for me, that's what I felt about my certain situation. But expressing it to someone who isn't biased about your situation, or someone who is super close, because I almost feel like I couldn't tell someone around me really what I was feeling, but I could tell a stranger. And so that
it's
was
weird
really,
how that works.
yeah, that was really, really
That's
helpful
weird.
for me. What about you?
I think honestly, I was tired of being miserable in my own brain and body.
Mm-hmm.
It was exhausting, I think, a couple of years ago. I think it really started when COVID started and you have so much time on your own. And you guys, I spent 3 months of COVID in my apartment by myself. That was so challenging, weird, because I was thinking that this morning. I was getting ready. I was like, how did I do that? Like,
Right.
that is so on its own. So, like, I don't even know how that happened. But I think that really made me kind of get into it. And this is a little story, but I started having dreams about things that happened to me when I was younger.
Okay.
And it was vivid dreams, because I remember these situations and it happened in my dreams exactly. Like, it wasn't like a pretend story, it was real.
Right.
And so when I started dreaming about that, things that I had just pushed down came up. And then other things kept coming up, and other things kept coming up, and I was like, this isn't right. And I was not doing well mentally. I wasn't doing well in what was going on in my life. It was with my friends, with work, whatever the case was at the time. So just accepting, like, this is okay, you're okay, like, we're gonna be fine.
Right.
I mean, even for about 1.5 years, I had to take medicine to balance everything going on in my brain. While I was focusing and working, I knew that, like, medicine isn't a full solution. It's not a lifetime of, you can't just take medicine forever and just depend on that. But I took it with, obviously a doctor's approval. I took it for, 1.5 years to help, while I was working on myself, help what the medicine was doing to help it do its part.
Yeah.
And getting off of it, I was totally fine because I had worked on myself. I had spent time working on myself. So that's kind of went off topic a little bit on that.
No, yeah, I love that. And so what kind of were the signs that made you realize, like, whoa, I'm off balance. I'm not me right now.
A lot of bad thoughts. I think a lot of bad thoughts. A lot of wanting to stay in bed and not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting, even if I was somewhere, not wanting to really communicate. My mind was somewhere else. I wanted to be home, and I was just sad all the time.
Yeah.
I felt like nothing could or was making me happy, even though I had so many blessings in front of me. I think that's when you're like, wait, why am I,
feeling this way when
feeling that way.
life is on paper good.
Yeah.
I hear you. And I feel like these are all things that, you should kind of look out for when you are not feeling yourself, because obviously there's a reason. And even for you, like, things from your childhood randomly started to, like, come back into your life in a way to let you know that there's things that need to be addressed that you've yet to address.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of your body, like, letting you know, girl, there's some feelings that we haven't really addressed or felt or really figured out why we feel that way. Let's
get to it.
Let's get to it. Let's figure it out. And
we sure did.
And we sure did.
And it was the best thing
that you could have done. So pretty much just letting it out and speaking on it.
Yeah. So the difference, I think, like Savannah, her mom, had to give her a little push. Difference in me was I had to ask for help, and that's something in my notes, is asking for help. And then also just sitting here thinking about Savannah's situation. If someone that loves you and cares about you is pushing you to go see a therapist or get some type of help, listen to them, because they're not just saying that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it could go both ways. You're asking for help or you're getting pushed to do it. I think both is hard either way in its own ways, but it's a solution.
Definitely. I agree. And when my mom brought it to me, I was like, a therapist? Like, I don't even know what I'm going to say to
Why
her.
can't I just imagine that conversation?
No, literally. My mom had already gone and experienced what she wanted me to experience, but I had no idea because I had never seen a therapist before, so I just didn't know, and the place that I was into and the timing and everything, I was just like,
No fakes.
Like, yeah.
And that's normal. That's like, I feel like a normal
Yeah, but that's
reaction.
why I'm glad you're saying this, because I'm so thankful that my mom pushed me, because as soon as I sat down on her couch, I couldn't stop talking. And we talked about my childhood, just talked about so many different things, and that's why I feel like it's important to speak about these things, because a lot of things that could have happened to us in our childhood that maybe we were aware about or not aware about affect us.
Oh, definitely.
And that's a whole other topic, but they need to be addressed so that you can be free.
I love that. So you can be free.
So that you can be free.
Tell us what you got.
Out of it?
No, out of...
what's your, on my list?
Give us a topic.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to speak on gratitude. I think it's an attitude. Gratitude.
I love that. That's amazing.
Gratitude is an attitude. I feel like it's, we can have a bad attitude, we can have a good attitude, but gratitude is a way of living. And I got really into gratitude actually a little bit before COVID happened, and I wanted to share a book. It's called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, and it's pretty much a daily practice of how you can bring gratitude into your life. And so that was a book that I personally read that introduced me into gratitude, and just each day you read just a new, it's kind of like a chapter, but it's really like giving you a new way to bring in gratitude into your life. So
I've seen you read that. Post about it.
So literally the smallest thing that you can do, just an example, is when you're walking, like let's say you're walking from pumping your gas to go give the person in the gas station money, each step you take you can literally just be like, thank you, like just showing gratitude. And I think that gratitude is a way that you can bring more into your life, number one, and then two, how to focus on all of the good things even in the middle of the storm, because even in the middle of a storm there are good things, and you just need to look for them and be aware of them. So I think gratitude is a topic that should be spoken about when it pertains or mental health, because that's a way to just kind of flip your mind into just being more grateful regardless of the situation you're in. And I'm very much like that. I feel like I was kind of just always the person looking at the brighter side of things. Like, I don't really like to dwell too much. I don't know, I just like to kind of just shake it off and keep it pushing, or just, like I said, look at the brighter things. I like to look more at the pros than the cons. That's kind of always how I've always been, and I am thankful for that, because I don't really think that's common. I think people kind of just focus
It's not common.
more on the bad things. I'm not saying I've always, in every situation I'm like that, no, but overall I am. But I did dig myself into a deep hole by looking at the darker things instead of the lighter things. but you know,
I
got
those
out of
can
that
add
hole.
up. It can add up in your heart and soul. So
The things you're thinking about the most. Yeah. So I said standing in a place where you focus on pros more than the cons and seeing the lesson and opportunity in things, which I just kind of spoke about. So I like to look for the rainbows and butterflies in every situation.
and every storm has a purpose. Like maybe in the moment you're not seeing the purpose, but you will see it later on in life.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Every like bad situation has a story.
It's reason.
Yeah, there's a reason to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's so cliche. I feel like everyone says that, but like just looking back on some of my own stuff, like I'm like, oh, that's good.
It was a lesson,
Yeah.
or it brought you to the next level in life, and just even it matured you maybe, or whatever the case
For
may
sure.
be. But there's always something good in the bad, and I personally rather focus on that than the bad, because like I'm saying, I've done that before,
Yeah.
and it got me to a very dark place that I thought I would never grow out of, but thankfully I did.
She did, and she's stronger than ever.
And you too, girl. You
We get
too.
a round of applause. Should we go back to my notes?
Yes.
I guess we kind of talked about seeing a therapist, but doing exercises that can help in your daily routine when you're going through something.
Oh, I even want to hear this. Give us some that we can
Okay,
do.
so in what I personally do exercises, my number one exercise that I absolutely love and I don't think I'll ever stop is journaling. Journaling has saved me in the weirdest. I don't even saying journaling is like you just wrote stuff on paper, but it's so much more than that. When I come home or I had a bad day or I'm in a bad situation and I pick up my journal and I pick up my paper and I just can go forever. And like it feels so good. It's something I do for myself that I never want to stop doing. It's so therapeutic. Your feelings are coming out of your heart and mind into paper. You're not holding it in. Even if it's picking up your phone and going in your notes app, I look back, like not too long ago I was reading my journal, but like for 6 months ago and I was like, oh my God, or like a year ago and I was like, wow,
It's
who
like-
is she?
Who is she?
She has grown so much. And I remember reading a paper, like a page of it and be like, wow, I learned. Because I
learned
would
that
never do that
lesson.
again.
Right.
You know, journaling, the best exercise. I can't stop saying it. I swear by it. Another thing that for me personally, that works is turning off social media and turning off anything that has to do with the outside noise. So going through a break of a month or two, even if you can do it for a week, do it. I've done it a couple times in last year, and it really just kind of helps. You don't realize how much of effect the outside noise has in your life until you don't have it, and you're like, oh, it's so peaceful. And its third one, I'm gonna say because I want to hear Savannah's top three, is going on walks without distraction. If that means your phone, your friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, no distraction. Maybe you're just headphones and some music or a podcast, but I'm just going on a walk and clearing your mind. Wow, it does such wonders.
I love all three of those.
What's your top three exercise?
Exercise. I think we both know that. Exercise, because we both
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
exercise. Yeah, working out. Oh, that's actually a great one.
I think exercise. I think getting, just for me, the daily word, just reading the Bible or listening to one of my favorite pastors, Real Talk Kim.
Mm-hmm. She's got me in real talk.
She does it for me. So I feel like just feeding my faith is something that helps me. And then also, I love what you said, and that's actually one of my topics, the whole social media thing. I think just protecting your heart
And peace.
and peace, I think is something, and I'm going to talk a little bit more on that, but I think that those are my things. So just exercise, eating healthy the majority of the time, feeding my faith and also protecting my heart.
Yep. Because you're gonna protect your heart better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else. So.
I agree. And just to add on to the social media world, I want to talk about purging your Instagram. And I'm new on TikTok, so I can't really say that too much because I don't really follow many people. But something that I did before the new year was purge my Instagram. If they don't inspire me to be closer to God, if they don't inspire me to be healthier, if they don't inspire me to get up and get to work, whether that's career-wise or in the gym, then...
Or even inspired to get a cute outfit.
Inspired to get a cute outfit. Just my interest. If they aren't inspiring me, no thank you. It's been really hard for me. I literally, like when Instagram came out, I was still in high school. So I followed everybody that I went to high school with. Well, not everybody, but just people, my friends in high school. And, you know, you grow closer, you grow farther. But for me, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I still need to follow this person. But
I feel that way. Do we not?
Girl, no.
Okay.
No, it's time.
Then I need to do a spurt.
It's been 10 years for you. It's been 8 years for me. And if I haven't seen this person, sometimes they don't even post anymore, whatever the case may be. I need you to go through your following. And if these people do not motivate you to be a better person or just make you feel good, it doesn't have to be that deep. Just if this person doesn't make you feel good when you consume their content, unfollow them.
And funny she says that because I follow some people from middle school or high school that were very unkind to me in school. And I'm like, why do I follow them actually?
Yeah.
I should
it's
unfollow.
Time to purge because that helps me so much. So now when I go on social media, I love everybody that I follow because they're just so inspiring. And I feel like that's what social media is about. Like getting on there to feel good, to be inspired to do something and, you know, just be in a good place. So I've really had to clean up the things that I follow, the things that I listen to, whether that's music or even certain podcasts. I never really was into like the gossipy, like what's this girl doing and that girl doing. I've never really been into those types of podcasts, so I didn't really have to like purge too much in that. But just in social media, I think it's important to, like I said, protect your heart. So yeah, the music you listen to, the things that you consume, even maybe news, too much news can be, you know, they only focus on the negative. I think all of that, I know all of that affects your mental health because it affected mine before I went ahead and purged. So, and that's something that I'm going to continue to do. Purge my life, purge my closet, purge my refrigerator, purge my home, because all things that are not helping me become better in 2024, I don't want no part of it, respectfully.
That just makes me think, like, why am I following all these mean girls that were not sweet
Bye!
in high school
See
or
you
middle
never.
school?
Like, no, girl.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to sit
There's
and
no,
do that.
like, you gotta clip that. There's no, like, I know because I felt that way for so long. I'm like, well, I used to have science class with them in, 7th grade, but
Yeah.
girl, the last post I posted was in 2013.
Yeah.
For one. For two,
And even if they didn't post in 2013, if you weren't really kind, then you know.
I mean, if they weren't kind to you, yeah, girl, it's time to cut that cord.
You know what I mean? You get older and you like follow each other, but it's like I don't really care at all.
For sure.
So I like.
Yeah, just
get
cut that cord. Don't feel bad about it.
That's my problem. I'm a people pleaser, and it is horrible, you guys. I hate it. I hate it, and I'm working on it. I've gotten a lot better. You don't need to please every stranger. Okay, like she said, if they were in your 7th grade class, good. That was in 7th grade. You don't need to just keep pleasing them.
Yes,
you know
I agree. I think the faster you get to where you just live for your higher power, for me, God, and for yourself, like you said, you start to not worry about other people's opinions naturally. It's not something that you have to try really hard to do. You just naturally realize that, I was gonna say something, but that's gross. But we all bleed the same color. Let me just say that. Let me just say that.
We do though.
You know? So like there's a lot of things like you're over here worried about what she thinks of you or what he thinks of you, but you know, we all do the same thing.
Exactly.
So it's just like it's hard and it's not something that's like super easy, but just the deeper you get into life, you start to realize the quicker I learn this, the quicker I'll be free and be able to live a life where I don't care about others' opinions.
Exactly. My last point, should I give my last point?
Yeah.
Finding one thing in the day that can motivate you to push through when you're having a bad day. So I'll say, you say yours first.
One thing today.
Not today, but like one thing in your day, like if you're having a bad day, what's like, if you have to focus on one thing to push you through that day when it's not a good day.
Yeah. For me, I would think about the fact that I have food to eat.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
What about
I
you?
was going to say having a career that's honestly my dream that became a reality.
Yeah. Sometimes I think you kind of need to like have a reality check with yourself and be like, girl, these feelings are so small. I do that when I'm in the plane and you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, like that thing that I was worried about or that person or whatever, like is so small.
It's, yeah.
You know, like
Honestly, I was thinking, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was driving and I was thinking about a person that really bothered me once upon a time, a friend, an ex-friend, and I don't even think about that person anymore. And I'm like, I spent so much time worried for nothing.
But that's kind of what we spoke about on the second
Second
episode,
episode, yeah.
like how time heals really all. But yeah, I think it's just having a reality check with yourself and just being like, you know, realizing things in real time and realizing they're not as significant as you're making them.
No, really.
Because that's kind of what it is, us giving certain things power in our life.
Yeah, and even like the little things, like for girls, like get up and put a little bit of makeup on. Sometimes that helps.
Oh my
or
goodness.
for guys,
Get a haircut.
get a haircut. Exactly. So there's just like little but so much that can be done for you to feel like, okay, I woke up, I feel not my best, but let me do one thing. If that is one thing, small or big, to push through this day and try to make the day the best day that I can make it, possibly.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, that's, for me, it's maybe get up and put on a cute, confident outfit, or go get a good meal and eat it in my car while I listen to Taylor Swift. That could be, you know, that helps me.
Yeah.
It's just the little things, but I think really finding the purpose on a bad day, so important. It's going to make worlds of a difference to find the purpose of a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just, I want you guys to listen to this episode, listen to Savannah and I, and the one thing you take away is that, one, you're not alone, and two, never be embarrassed or shy, one, to ever message me or Savannah if you feel any type of way, need any advice. The second, the people around you that love you, I mean, there is a solution to feeling down or feeling unbalanced, and I just want you to, like I said, take away from this episode that you're not alone, and you got this. You got this. We believe in you. You got this. If you just take one advice or two out of anything Savannah and I have said, just give it a try. Worst case, it doesn't work for you, and that's okay. But if you feel like you need something out of this episode and you think that it could work for you, just try it. You're not going to lose anything at all.
I agree. I love that. Just try it. Just try it. I think I have one more. So I do. So happy brain chemicals and how to hack them.
Oh. Dr. Savannah over here.
Dr. Savannah at your service. Which we kind of already spoke about these things, but really, so one of your brain chemicals are dopamine. So
and we're not doctors. I know we
again,
said that, but let's
yeah.
just say that again.
Just say that again. So your dopamine is when the reward chemical. So after you opened up your store at Post, that kind of created dopamine because it's like a reward. You finished it, right? So
Guys, it was a reward, but I was like, where's my cocktail?
Right. So that's trying something new, listening to music, making a small list of tasks and completing them. Those are ways that you can create dopamine into your life. I know that I feel so good when I check things off in my agenda. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about that before. Serotonin, so that's the mood stabilizer. So get some sunlight, exercise, a healthy diet. Those are all things that you can do to affect that that serotonin and get that feeling going in your life. So then we have oxytocin, which is the love hormone. So spending time with friends or loved ones, doing something nice for something. These are all things that can help your brain to make you feel better. And the last one, endorphins, that's the pain reliever. So regular exercise, creating music, art, etc., laughter. These are all things, you guys, that can put you in a different mind space. So I like what you said about actually trying, because I feel like a lot of the times when things happen to us, we kind of let them happen to us when we can, you can't stop things from happening to you, but you can
control how you react to it.
Thank you. So hope those are helpful things. Exercises, things that you can do to just put yourself in a different mind space if you're feeling down.
And you might be like, oh, that's not going to work for me. That's definitely not going to work for me. And I say that because that's what I used to say. And try it. Just try it. Because you never know. You guys, I was the most depressed when I was not in the gym. When I didn't have an exercising routine,
Mm-hmm.
I was the most depressed. And I know that because I look back now and I'm like, I would have the same problems I had then now, if it was financially or if it was at school or whatever it was that is common in people's lives. Every time I give myself that 1 hour in the day, if it's for a walk, if it's whatever, you don't need to hit a whole a class that's intense, just whatever is that moving your body, it makes such a difference. I can't tell you one person that has looked at me and said, no, it never worked for me.
Literally, yeah.
And it can be as simple as going on a walk for 10
Outside
minutes.
your house, outside your place, whatever. 10-minute walk, whatever, just get your body moving and you'll start to notice a change for sure. Then one last thing that I want to say is something that Real Talk Kim, my girl, she always says this and it really resonated with me, and it's that things are going to happen in life and you can't, you have no control over that, but healing is your responsibility. And I feel like that is so, everybody needs to know that, I feel like, because things happen to us all the time that we didn't ask for, and that's that. But the way, like Delora said, that you handle it and that you react to it, in this case, the healing aspect, nobody can heal for you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your sibling, not your partner, not your animal. It's your responsibility. And I think that when you just kind of accept that, hey, it's up to me, then that's when the true magic can begin in your life.
And we said this in episode 2. Put yourself first. You are the most important person in your storybook.
Mm-hmm. You're your own author, and you need to be writing your story.
Yep, exactly how you want it. I hope this episode was not just, deep or uncomfortable. If you're listening, you're like, oh, well, I'm stuck in that place where I don't feel great and I want to do something. Thank you for sticking around. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. you will try maybe a thing or two, an exercise that Savannah and I talked about. Like I said, we're here for you if you want to message us, if you want to talk about anything. We want to be good influencers for you guys, and we're here for you. Think of us as your friend.
Yes, your big sisters or little sisters or
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to say, also remind you that I promise you, you are not alone. Whatever feeling you are feeling, I promise you, there's other people who feel that way. I think that was the biggest moment for me where like the shackles came off when I realized that feeling that kept me up at night was a feeling that a lot of people feel.
Yeah.
So just another reminder that you are not alone.
And that we love you. And we're so happy you're back. You're listening to episode 3.
Yeah, super grateful.
This is the end of episode 3. It's crazy, episode 3. Like, what? We just did episode 1. Like, where did 3 weeks go?
I'm proud of us.
I'm so proud of us, and we're just so grateful for you. We can't stop saying it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Follow us if it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Whatever.
We love you, and we hope you're having a wonderful day, weekend. Yeah. So we love you.
We love you. Thank you guys
See
for
you in
watching.
the next one.